Hello, my good people. Welcome back again. This is the King of Africa. Today we want to take you through the Matsieng footprints. Welcome. Stay tuned as we learn more about the origin of Botswana.
And I'm told that the huge man came out of the hole. Okay, stay tuned. This is Matsieng Footprints.
Where we are is a place that we call a creation site, and being a creation site is called Matsieng footprint, which actually Matsieng footprint is where I would rather let people to understand this, where people who believe in African traditional religion believe their life started from. In fact, yes, I might be aware that we have so many different theories that we might explain about creation. But where we are is those people, Africa south of Sahara, who believe in African traditional religion. That's why they are saying the first man to them is Matsieng. Matsieng here is actually a Soto name meaning the first ancestor. So that means as Africa Southern Sahara people, we believe that this is where we are, which is actually a flat rock covering 100 meters by 80 meters with several different sizes of holes, is where we believe now the first man's life started from after coming out from a hole, which that hole was created because they were living in the darkness. Then God opened this hole from this rock where now Matiang was the first to come out, and every living thing happened that they follow behind. That's why we are saying it's a Christian site. So, but then understand this: Christians are saying the first man to them is Adam. Science-wise, is saying there was evolution, but where maybe they are saying everything started as a living cell, and then this cell multiplies into the form and happens to be what it is. But we are people Africa South of Sahara. That means all these other theories of Christianity or other things, we do not believe in them. That is why we believe that the people who first we started with, they are still living, but we still can have places where we can communicate with them, which is that is why we are saying they came out here, and that is where we now originated. And being now here, this is one of the places that we call secret or sacred area, which then I will explain later about it. But now, this flat rock, it covers 100 meters by 80 meters, and we have about four different sizes, which actually depend on width and depth. And unfortunately, this one next to us, which is the very shortest, smallest, is already now dry, which actually has length of depth of 60 centimeters going down. And unfortunately, I will not miss that. And this is just a rock up to the bottom. Which then, when I want to come to the scientific explanation, I still explain that so that we get the difference between what I might say is mythology versus science and reality. Okay.
Yep.
Now this one here is very, like I'm saying, is very shallow. But what always gets inside here is just only rainwater that collects when the rains fall. And like you might be aware, with right now we are just having people who are just going out. This is because if this is an ancestral area, and they come here and fetch the water for each other. If you want to cleanse your body, or if you want everything to work well for you, where we must say, we want anointing water, we want to cleanse our bodies, we want to appease the ancestors, they use this water here. But as the holes, some of the holes are very dry. That means the next rainy season might still find some of the holes well, because it only depends on the need. If you don't have a problem, that's why they don't come. And then when there's a problem, that's when they come and forth. And as mind you, the containers they are using, like you can see, they were very small. And therefore now that means the next rainy season is still going to find the hole with water, but mostly on the deepest hole. So now, because I'm Matsieng here, and now I'm just going to, so that now we go so that to the hole where now we are saying Matsieng came out, so that you see the prince and how they explain how he now went out.
Hmm.
So now, this one here now is the very, very deepest hole. If you fall inside there, because I'm not good at swimming, I only wait for you to drown so that I sing the songs that people sing at the funerals when they are known. Actually, actually the hole is 3 meters going down and 2 meters back. This is where we are saying my thing came out. And what is inside here, like you can see, they've just come and fetch the water. This is the water that is believed to be very good for the rituals. And it's
So
just
this is the water.
that is the water, and it's just rainwater that collects. So right now, like it's very low, they have to get the bucket so that they lower it down and fetch the water. Now, this is where we believe Matsieng came out, and this hole is 3 meters down and 2 meters wide. But now, the prince that we are talking about, because we are saying Matsieng came out from the hole during the times when the rocks were still soft. And being soft, this is where now I'm going to show you the prints. Now, if you look here, this one they are saying is the hand where Matsieng was holding himself as he was going off the hole. This one here is the print for Matsieng's keys, which actually is the one that you've been seeing in the books. Okay? This one is for the keys.
The one we see in the books.
The one here that was in the book is this one here.
Yeah.
Which is this one is the one that they are saying is for the keys. And as he had a number of keys, there's another print for the kids here. And unfortunately now this guys they poured water here. This is part of the but let's get for the no actually the print of animals. This one here is the paw for one of my Matsieng's animals. Can you please And then over here, this is where they are saying is part of the base. Unfortunately, because now of the shadow of the time, unfortunately they are not going to go much. And then there is a zigzag line above here, which they are saying now is part of the base, the snakes, and two small paws here. And then this prince, there are three other ones next to you here for the keys, okay? And then next to me again here, I have other three here, but there's this one that is still more visible here. Another print here, and then there.
So this one is for the kid here.
I'm still working on only for the kids. I haven't yet reached the print for the material. Then there are these two again, which are still more visible for the kids.
For the kids only.
Yeah. Then now, if I talk of Matsieng's print, actually I'm talking about this one here.
This is now Matsieng's.
This is now Matsieng's print. Which actually this one for Matsieng, it only had a length of 34 centimeters and had 6 toes. And unfortunately, like I can see, the toes have faded out. Actually, just look at the number of toes for this animal here. This is actually the similar size number of toes. There's a paw here which had number of toes similar to this one. But then unfortunately this one, the toes have faded out. So the Matsieng footprint, it had only a length of 34 centimeters and 6 toes. Which now that's why I'm saying that one that you saw is not actually the print for Matsieng. It's just another part of where they were saying no, you should show what is there at Matsieng. That's what I understand about it. Now, what I want you to understand is actually we were talking about the different places which are believed to be like I'm trying to show you. Now, there are another similar size of print like this one here. It's the one that we find after Kanye village, which is called lowest print. Okay. Then if you move up north, there is another print next to a place called Motabaneng, which is called Masuste print. Then you go up again next to another way to Maung, just about after just by before Johanning. No, before what is the Raba? There's another print. When you are on when you walk away from, maybe you used to turn from Serowe, you travel as there's Mopipi, then next to Mopipi, that's where the another print is called Kwalabe print. So now, what I want you to understand is, what you are stepping on is a natural feature. Okay?
A natural feature.
Natural feature. And this natural feature, we are the people that are called Tswana or the Bantu speaking.
Yep.
Of which right now, I am here, we are called Bakata. And Bakata actually is a tribe that is residing around the area where we find the prince of Matsieng. So now, if we are here, we understand that we did not originate here. We only came in Botswana here from around 1871 and given sanctuary by Kosi Mutsudi. So Mutsudi actually here, it means the chief of the Bakwena, who had been here for more than 400 years. 1871, the Bakwena had 400 years here. Which then that tribe Bakwena, they had also displaced another tribe that we call Bakalahari. But Kalahari had also displaced another tribe that we call Basar. So now, what I want you to understand is, when we are saying it's a creation site, we are not the actual inhabitants of the place. Okay?
Mm.
In fact, what is happening is, if I was to talk about the occurrence or the formation of the rock itself throughout Southern Africa, we are saying these rocks had been formed through less bounded materials of volcanic eruption. So
Mm.
if there was a volcano here, that's why I'm questioning. Could Matsieng have ever stepped on this rock during the formation of the rock
When it was very hot,
when it was
because
very hot?
it was
And
very.
as this is a sandstone, we are saying at the same. Maybe this holes may have been formed under the river. And
Mhm.
if there was a river, because sandstones are actually understand they formed under the river. So
Yeah.
maybe this holes or where the water was spreading around an object, therefore creating the cavities, which are just natural. And this kind of stones, they start from Australia throughout the whole of Southern Africa up to Namibia. And we call them what do they fall under the waterback series type of rock, which date back to more than 27 billion years. And now, where we are here, if you were to notice one thing, if Madziang would have stepped to here, this print could never be showing the outline. They
Mm.
should be indented on the rock like the paw. You see that the paw is indented.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means now the prints are not indented. And throughout this, the all where you see this print, they are not indented. Which therefore I'm saying, even not only myself, I'm
Mm.
saying there was no human occupation during the time of the volcanic or maybe the formation of the rocks. Which then after the volcanic the formation of the rocks, we have people who are actually the natives of Southern Africa. These people, or maybe not only Southern Africa, but throughout the whole continent. Because, like we might be aware that America we have what you call the Red Indians, and Australia we have what you call the Aborigines. Kenya around Kenya also, where we have what you call the, the Maasai.
The Maasais are in Kenya.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we also have here in Botswana we have the
Basaro.
Basaro.
Those
So
are the common ones
those
in
are
the
the
nurse
common
we
ones.
know because of
Yeah.
their kind of
Eh,
funny dress of the skin attire
eh, eh.
and stuff.
Yeah. So these people, before the 1, 2, 3 ABC that we have, they had already learned how to communicate or read and write. So their communication was writing on permanent structures. And therefore now, because they didn't have pens or maybe some marks, something that they can show, they used to engrave on these rocks here as a form of communication. So if
Okay.
this thing issue of petroglyphs, which was used by the Greeks, it has long started even with people who were throughout all these different continents. But then now, we the people that came after they have been there, we failed to understand what they have written.
You can say that again. That's where we are failing. Now we are.
Now, still right now, you came here with the belief. You have already failed that you understand that there's no Matsieng here. What is the Matsieng? Matsieng is just a story.
Okay.
So when we arrived here, like right now, I was talking about different tribes arriving at different times. So Bakata are the last to arrive here, displacing all these other tribes.
So basically, let's say that Matsieng,
Yeah,
the story about Matsieng
yeah.
is just a myth, just to explain some mysteries. Because actually, we don't know actually what happened, but we are just trying to put
The mystery,
some,
giving the explanation through
yeah, some
what happened.
using some myths to
Yeah,
explain
yeah. Like right
to
now,
people to understand that this is how it
um,
happened.
hey. This is why I'm saying, if you are to notice the print, they show the outline.
Mhm.
And then showing the outline. If I come here, just like you are coming here, it's your first time here. Are
Yeah.
you going to, if you did not meet me, how are you going to say the prince came into existence? You will say, maybe the first people came out here with animals. And so you create a story.
Actually, I was looking for the hands, but I couldn't see for
No,
the
the
hand
hand they are
because
saying, that first one where you actually, that one next to, actually, that's where they are saying is the hand. So, but
the
the but what I also want you to understand is, um, those people they were not learned like we are,
mhm.
which then, when they arrived, they knew that for this to occur, just like the trying to give the account. So you have to use something that is concrete. You get it?
Hmm.
So if I see you and you are here, then I find you here. That's where now I'm going to say, no, I found you here. That maybe this may be your prince. Then I give an account of trying to explain here about you,
Using the context that you
the
found me
context
there.
that you found you. That's what is happening at Lowe. If you say the prince are for Lowe, actually when the Bakwena arrived from South Africa to Botswana here, the first person to meet where there is a similar print like that,
Mm.
he was called Clarence Van Rietveld Lou. Louis in the Laowe. But then when Botswana tried to explain the Laowe, they said Lowe.
Okay, so it's where the lower comes from.
Yeah, where the Lowe comes from.
Because of the mispronunciation and misspelling.
Mispronunciation, yeah. So even right now, the Kata
Oh.
after 1871,
Mhm,
when they arrived here, they failed to account for what is here.
mhm.
Therefore, now, because by then, understand this, most of the time where we fail to get this right, there were datings that we were using. Because each and every time as they arrived at a certain time, they tried to be the one who were the originals of that area. So you would give an account of a certain time, which the other tribe did not see. So now, if you say the rock being soft, they know that the Bagwena were here before they found the Bagwena here. But then, could the Bagwena have found this rock being soft? So a certain dating have to be through a certain event. You see, right now we are talking about the new moon. This new moon actually resembles the starting of the September month,
Yeah, the September month.
which then the September month, we know it has long started there. But then because we are different using a moon and then together with different let me say different seasons as they go, you will give a certain season. Like maybe if I was born during the rainy season, I would, they will call me Rabu.
Rapura.
Yeah, because I was born during the rainy season. And then if I was born during COVID, they know
So,
that Rapula was born during the COVID. But which month then does the Rapula, because it was rainy season, they know
mhm,
that period of ranging on the rainy season is the one that now, whether it's the 4 months of the rainy season or 5 months of the rainy season, then I would not be, they will not include me in those people that were born in during where there was no rain.
Rapura. So,
Yeah,
actually, what you are trying to
yeah,
explain,
yeah,
I can allude it to more or less the same thing from our culture in Kenya. The same thing they do.
yeah.
If someone is born on the road, they
Yeah.
call him Nyanjera, meaning that he
He
was
was
born on the road.
on the road.
So that is for a girl. If it's
Yeah.
a boy, you'll be called Makoi. So
Eh,
I've made to understand from your side.
yeah.
Rapura is for Ra because it's a
Is
boy.
ma.
So
Is a man.
it's a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So Mahapura will be,
For the woman.
oh, wow, that's nice.
So
So
that is the same thing.
yeah.
But then now, what happened is, as we were tribes, remember I'm talking about a certain big area.
Mhm.
So Matsieng is actually in Kateng area. And the other similar feature with this similar type of rock is very far from here. Just imagine where Kanye is. Kanye, you travel from Gaborone, you move up south, west,
South
west.
southwest, yeah.
Yeah, then maybe 60 or 70 kilometers. Then that's where you find Kanye. Then after that, there's that place that's where there's a similar print. So you find that now these features they are from different places and very long distances from one place to another. So now, where now they are trying to express Matsieng as a giant is because Matsieng's print they are never one in the same place. They are never two
Okay.
in the same place. They are always one here and one and from another very far places.
So meaning that it's like me taking a stride like this.
So that
So
means what I'm saying is that when
a
my
stride
thing was
from
here
here
with
to there,
with the
70
right,
kilometers.
with the right, the
Eh,
left one now was in guard.
okay.
Eh. So that's why now we got the exaggerated part of it. But now the prints, that's what I'm saying, they are never much big. So now, in trying to explain now the distance from one of, that's why we said my thing was a giant. And mind you, the Tswana weights. There are some of the ways where we have like where we are trying to be little, where you know that we always had the an and nyana go hello, meaning small nyana. But then now, for this giant now, we have to use words like the abbreviation or the end of party with DIMO. So dimu like lekhodimu.
Mm.
You know lekhodimu. Lekhodimu it means something that is above. So now, if I'm a cannibal,
Mhm.
I'm believed to be a demon, which this demon is something that is beyond abnormal.
Okay.
And then now, if now I'm saying my thing was a giant or like a demo, I mean that now my thing was above abnormal. So now the meaning of the context of which how I use the word is the one that people should have understood. Because if now the same size of this print, this being the right and the other one be the, and how could I say now there was a giant? Because I fail to understand the giantness of the crazy. Because we say what I'm now saying is that the Bushmen had wrote, and after they wrote, a failure to understand it now what they wrote. Therefore, we try to give our own expression, not actually asking the Bushmen what they were writing. Then I gave an account of because I'm an art teacher. When I was still a teacher before, there used to be where we would draw. Each student would draw this, and they would draw. But then when I would take one of the students art picture, then I ask them, what have they draw? You know the different meanings that they will give. So this is just the same here. The artist was there. So this is just sort of like a canvas where now the Bushmen who knew what they were writing about, they wrote here. But now we ourselves, when we came here, failing to get the meaning behind, we created stories.
So meaning like different languages, the way they communicate. That is why sometimes we differ from language to language.
Yeah.
I can communicate my own language.
Uh-huh.
You cannot understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not unless I explain to you that this is what I
This
mean.
is what it is.
Simply
So
the
but
same way
same
here
way as
with
here.
this rock
Yeah.
engraving.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
that is why when I teach students here, I tell them that Matsieng is just a mythical story. And please, I always ask them, do you know what a myth is? Then they want to me, it's a story that is not true. But I'm failing to, and you fail to add some beef up to it. Because if you are saying it's a story that's not true, where is the story? Where are they talking about the story which is not true? So these are stories that we created on the natural features that we believed in them, but they are not true.
Okay.
And then now, after saying it's a myth, then now understand this. We people who are called African traditional religion people, we did not worship in a church. We did not even worship in a mosque. We actually worshipped in what we call the natural features.
Mm-hmm.
Which these natural features, currently we call them secret or sacred area. Which then now, if you are to now to talk about the religion itself, the religion is based on the natural features. It's not based in the mosque. It's not based in the church. Which therefore, this is why at the end of the day we are saying those people who believe in African tradition, it's either they will go to a hole like Matsieng, they go to a hole like a cave, they go to a tree, they go to a certain dam, they
Or
go
a
which
mountain.
mountain, which these places we call secret. So this I understand you are telling students that African people do not have where they worship. No, no, no. It's there. If you go to look at what is called shaman and shamanism, which is what I'm deciding to understand about African traditionalism. African traditionalism is based on shaman and shamanism. So a shaman is actually a person who, if we were to go back to science, science says we are made of matter. What was it matter? We are just like this here. So this where I am is actually the aggregation point for all the different energies which you can harness. That's like where you are going to change and say, my mind is have changed today. I have this. The horoscope is saying these people who are born with this month they behave like this. So this is which where you harness all the different behaviors that you want to change to.
Oh, wonderful. I like it.
But then now we are here. We have the power from the water. We have the power from the rock. We have the power from the trees. We have the power from all the different sources of luminous objects, and then even the sun and the moon. But now, where we people, those are called African traditionally, we worship what do I call a highly spiritual magnetic field, which is now the aggregation point of all the different energies, of all the different types that you can harness to be able to be who you are and change your mind in a way that.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
So
That's
that's why I'm
nice.
saying we don't understand African traditionalism. But if you want to study more about African, let's help you because it's the ancestor. And then I also have the Chinese. The Chinese where you are going is actually a hole with which always have this algae, and this algae remains throughout the whole of it. So they
It
build,
doesn't disappear. It has to remain
yeah, it
throughout
just remains throughout the whole year, depending on around the water level. If the water dries, that's when the algae dries. But now they use that what you call enter the dragon type of sea. Those dragons, those type of creatures, they reside here. But then now, why we fear these natural features? Understand one thing. Uh, because in the past we had those people that we call our chiefs, our chiefs, they were people who were the ones who had the power. Yeah, unlike actually we have the president. Those people will have the power that they have a certain tribe that they have to rule. So he had to have a very powerful traditional doctor, which that traditional doctor was actually did not was supposed not to be used by any other person. So now, each and every time that means he is the one who was only around these places at certain specific times. Which therefore, if you are like to look at the taboos and this kind of that we are supposed to, we are say no, you don't have to go to Matsieng at night time. You don't have to go to Matsieng at 12 or you have to go to Matsieng. So this actually where what if I was going to back to the spirituality? There are the times that these magnetic fields of different times. That's why the ones that we use. So should you happen to be there, hela, people will tell you that it's either you go blind, you go mad, or you disappear forever. Because those times, the shaman healer had that power that he can create, or through the use of magical power, he can create something that is absolutely not realistic. And then you see it, it's either you try to disappear, or you run away, but you disappear. Or maybe at a certain time, you try to go up somewhere, or you follow a certain creature up the hill. Like sometimes we believe that there are good, like snakes that are sometimes going to the caves.
here.
No, no, no. Everywhere I know that we sometimes talk about snakes that get into a cave and they
Oh
cry
yeah.
like kids. So the shaman healer was one who created that sort of creature. Those are just weird creatures that the shaman healer did not want you to understand that they are there. Or maybe when he has, because I don't want anyone to see. Like right now, if I'm here, I don't want you to see me. Someone who might try to come here, he might see the room, but not be able to get it.
Yeah.
He might take you 50 minutes to walk from there, but he will see that I'm ahead of it. But to enter here, he's not going to until we have finished. So the shaman healer, through the power that he has through his magical power, was able to create some certain weird creature. Which these weird creatures, should you happen, or maybe that because they did not want you to tell people back home what you have seen. Those creatures, at the end of the day, you will tell people, but then you will not be normal anymore. Unless there's a cleansing that you have to go to the site and be done. Okay. But then before we go, then let me just show you one thing here. Because two dominant colors, more especially the dark color and the light color. The light colors are for me very nice irregular kind patches. But over here we have this very nice perfect round circles. Okay, up to the big one here. You see the big one. So Bakata will tell that, even though I know that they are the ones who came here, they'll tell that God was here as the creator of this earth that you are stepping in, and the universe. Now, to show his as the creator of that time, he took the replica of the time scenario of the sky right on the rock here. Believing now that the dark color is this blue sky. The light blue color are the patches of clouds. Since it was night time, these are the different planets, the stars, that one being a very full moon.
So this is the full
Full
moon
moon.
here.
Because their life starting from this whole on a cloudy night scenario during a full moon. So this is the replica of the time scenario.
So these small ones are
The
they are
stars.
they represent the stars, eh?
Yeah.
And then the planets. This is one of the
This
planets
is
here.
another. Maybe if I were to say the moon, and then
Okay, let's
maybe
say this is the moon
maybe
here.
Jupiter, Venus,
Then Jupiter is this one, like this,
and then
and then they'll be going like this.
Mercury, Venus, all the different planets, because we have different sizes around.
So they will be going like this.
Yeah,
You can be looking for.
yeah,
Those are the clouds. There's another planet
yeah.
there.
This is another planet.
That is another one on this. Then
So this is
like
exactly
that,
now what we yes.
like that. You can see. Oh, the wonders of God's creation.
The
Eh?
wonders of God's creation. But someone who understands the creation and always likes creation. These are the wonders of creation.
Wonderful.
So now,
Hey,
are you happy now?
yeah. You see the one for Chinese. Hey,
Huh?
Nana. You, Mona,
Hey, let's go and throw him there, so that
wait,
he drowns, and then we will see the ancestors.
wait, wait. I want to capture. Okay, Terry, it's okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is actually where you see there's this green stuff here. And actually, this green stuff is what you call algae, and it's a different form of algae than the one that people are used to. And I can see over there, there's a small portion where it's now showing the water. So it's just a green stuff, where sort of like granular on top of the water. And some people believe it's very good food for those bream fish. And but now with those people who believe in Africa, you know why the algae is here. You see that where we were, there's no algae.
Yeah,
But
there
now
was
so
no
they
algae,
now
but
believe
here
that
there's algae.
those powerful creatures, they are underneath here. So that when now you come here at that specific over time, that's when now they'll be out, and then you might be insane. But it just depends on the water. The algae depends on the water. If when the water dries, that's when it dies. But immediately the rains fall, it regrows. But it's just like right now, this hole actually is divided into about 4 holes within one big hole. But it's still going to go up to maybe the next rainy season because unfortunately, like
Before it dries up
yeah,
again,
before it
right?
dries up. The other one that is already divided is just a shallow one, and then another one there. But these two here, they are a little bit more
Deeper
deeper.
than.
But then I know that the next rainy season is going to find them with water.
So meaning that if you fall here, it's not a swimming pool. The
It's
next
not a
thing,
swimming pool. Those who here fear factor of being covered with the green stuff, yeah. Unfortunately, you cannot go in there. But let me just explain one thing.
yeah.
When it comes to those people who are training to be sangomas,
Mhm.
because they are sangomas
Oh,
who are called the mandau, who actually who believe in the power in water, who
mhm.
are said they are given their power through the water. That's
Mhm.
where now during their dance,
Yeah.
the one who's now being given the power to go and collect the things that he has to use for diagnosing and all stuff like that. That means during the dance, that's where he or she falls inside there. Where now after a certain period, he will come back, and then he will be now covered with that power and put here. Where now they are saying he's sorting up all his powerful the diagnostic things. That's when now they know that he's now a fully qualified sangom after dipping inside.
He has to dip himself inside here.
Yeah, he has to dip. If he doesn't dip, that means he's not a trained one. Then after that, they go up the hill there, where now they are going to cut the ship open away from the gut, and then all ba- the what do you call it, the blood
Mm.
just oozes down him and drinks, and then that's where now he's
He becomes a powerful
powerful
sangoma.
sango. If now for diagnostic purpose, he want you to be diagnosed, you just simply go to him.
And that one there, those.
No, that one there is unfortunately I'm not going to say it's part of the holes because I did not measure it. And part of the boards, our boards there, we are seeing there are two large holes, but unfortunately that one I did not measure it. So I'm not going to say it's part of the holes because it's part of the holes that were actually were during the war between the Bakwena and Makhatla. They filled up with sensors. So actually in 2005, I was still removing sensors, but I'm not finished it. So I'm going to provide the one hour after I finished. But
Okay.
when you read my board, they say two because they only the one and that one that were two available.
So guys,
Different natural features have different names depending actually on the tribe because each tribe, as we did not have land board, there was a specific name that now we will interpreting what we have on the natural feature. We give it a certain interpretation, which that interpretation might be a name, which that
mhm,
name itself, like if we have Matsieng, we have law, so that we identify ourselves with a certain area, so that everyone now would not take that land away from us. Now we are creating that story that would give us legitimacy to the site through the story. Just like right
okay.
now, if we have Bakata, they will tell you that this rock,
Mhm.
they found it hard like this. But because we are using what is called the Gregorian calendar, and showing that Bakwena that we are older than you. They have to create the story of the rocks being soft. But we know that the rocks being soft was the time when there was a volcano. But now, the soft rocks here to Bakata was the time when they were referring to land which were we did not have boundaries. You could roam everywhere, which is nowadays our kids call it soft life. So that
You
is the
can't
time.
roam. There was a fence there. There's a fence there.
Yeah.
So where are you roaming to? You can't. But I think that time it was free.
That time it
Even
was
that love
free.
now
Yeah.
has faded off.
Yeah.
People we hate each other.
Yeah.
That's why you hear people killing each other, all sorts of stealing from each other. Let's not
Hey.
even go far.
Yeah.
It's because we don't love each other.
We don't
That's
love
why we
each
are
other.
stealing from each other.
Hey. So
Yes.
now soft life is the time now that Makatla used it so that they can acquire this land legitimately.
Oh.
Yeah. Not that the rocks were still soft. Bakwena, like they are saying, they arrived during the time of Lowe. Lowe is the time when they arrived in Botswana from South Africa. They found that men there. That's why they wanted to give themselves legitimacy to that side. And then where there's Kwalabe Sprint, that is one is in Regos. That is actually the parting place where the Bakwena, the Batawana, and Bangwatu parted. Remember the Bakwena and Batawana and Bangwatu? They are the sons of the chief of Bakwena. So they decided to run away because they were now one of them who thought wanted to understand who's going to now get the right to the heir to the throne after our father died. So that means that's when they ran away, and then that's where they parted because that the Tawana and now want to say no, you wanted me to chief. So that means I take another group to go that side, and then you take another group to go that side. That's when the Bagmanta and the Batawana parted.
Okay.
Hey.
And let me ask you a simple question.
Yep.
This I was somewhere in a pre-wedding, not a pre-wedding actually. This where you pay dowry price. How do you call it?
Yeah.
Magadi.
Bogadi.
Bogadi.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the one who was marrying was from Bagataba Kafela. Then the one who is being married here is coming from that side of Tamara.
Bakata
That
Manana.
Bagataba
Manana.
Pamanana.
Hey.
So these are two different tribes now. Here.
Yes, when they entered Botswana,
Yeah.
they became two different tribes. But where they are, it's just the same tribe. Because when the Bakata went down from South Africa, actually the heir to the throne was supposed to be a woman. So they felt that this Bakata Bakafela, they felt that they cannot be ruled by a wife.
Okay.
So that's where they parted. So Museta, as the chief of the Bakata by then, after that side, the Bakata Bakafela decided to now move a different direction. But then those ones, as they tried to follow, they took a different route. Which now, when they got there, they found during that war, they tied a black, red and white cow to the tree. Which then, when the Boers tried to, when they encountered, they said, no, no, these people, we found a cow here tied, which is like this cow. So, but then that means there's no people here. So they hammered all these things, but there were no people. But then they decided, no, we leave the place. That's when now the Bakata there survived the war. And then that's why now later on, for acquiring that land, they call it Tamaga because now they say in Tswana, that that red and white cow is called Tamagana.
So
Actually, you can bring on the femininity of it.
okay.
It's Tamagana. So that's how they actually
Call it. So even cows, they are named according to the color.
Yeah.
Like
Color
Tamaga is a brown one.
Brown and red.
Brown and red.
Yeah.
It's a Tamaga.
Yeah.
That's good to hear that.
Hey,
that's nice.
red and white. Yeah, but it navy. Inala.
Enala.
But the red and white. Inala.
Enana.
So that's why manana.
So people
Because
from
of
that side, they are brown.
no, actually not. It's actually not referred to the color of the people. Okay,
But
actually it
just
refers
animals.
to animals which actually they were the ones that were used as totem.
Okay.
So even the Bakatla here, because of the Hetlavaners, that's why they said they have to use the monkey because sometimes they would spy at the different angles. Because the monkey, you know, it can jump up the tree and look up at the enemies down the side and allude the others. No, yeah, there's war, yeah, that is that. So then the Bakatla say, no, we are much clever. That's why they have to,
to call themselves.
they're being the clever because of the monkey.
How do you call the mangi in Setswana?
Cabo.
Cabo.
Yeah.
So their totem is crab.
Yeah, that's why even during their totem, they will say, "Re bakgatla ga the silibelo se mollo sa tjha sa rona morulo wa kgothokgolo ba kgatla ba bina kga."
Oh, wonderful. That's nice.
Because actually they are referring to their tribe.
Okay.
Yes, they believe that their totem is it. And this one Bakwena,
Mhm.
their totem is there is a crocodile.
A crocodile.
Yeah. Because actually Bakwena they are part of, in fact, let me just say all these people in Southern Africa were descendants of the Sotho. That's the one. So the Sotho most of the time their totem is a crocodile. So but all these other totems, after departing, that's why you wanted to identify yourself and give yourself identity to a certain other than the other people. Bakwena, the totem is a crocodile. That's why the Bakwena of Muchudi, of Botswana here, they still have that totem of a crocodile. But when they moved up there, because again during those war, when the Tawana and Mangwatu, where they parted, the Bakwena later on, they now say their totem is a deka.
And
A deka,
a deka.
yeah.
What is that?
A deka is just like a goat that always stays in the bush.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's, let's call it a wild goat.
Yeah, it's sort of like a wild goat.
Okay.
So so even they themselves, after the Hama, he hid next to a tree. Now when the Bushmen came, when no actually not the Bushmen, when the Boers came next to where this Deka, because Hama hid here, then that Deka ran away, but they did not realize that the Hama was next to the Deka. So they said, this animal cannot run away from it. That means there's no people. So they took a different route other than because they were following. But they can now run away. And then they said, how can these people be here whereas
The deka
the
is
Deka
here and
is here
is running away.
and it's running away?
So
But
they
he
thought
was,
that they
eh,
are the ones who rattled it to run away.
hey. So there was one now that let that creature to go out of his place because they have disturbed his habitat.
I hear also that how do we call this animal? There's an animal we call Bigfoot. Bigfoot.
Actually, Bigfoot. I'm going to say this. If you look at the channels, because that is a certain creature that is mostly around seen around America,
Mhm.
and it's called Bigfoot. Actually, I might say it's not a fairy creature. Even in Botswana here, we have still Bigfoot, which is this Bigfoot actually is an animal like human body. It still have an upright position like us. So this animal in mostly stays in the dense areas. So that is why around the Texas area, mostly because it's a dense area, thick area with. So this is where mostly that animal stays. Even around Botswana here, it mostly stays in the along the rivers because that's where there's a thick dense vegetation. So because it mostly stays there, that's why now American people now they call it Bigfoot because after it has passed, that's where they now go there and found out that this is a Bigfoot. But Bigfoot is actually a name that was given. In Botswana, we call it Belerutana.
Pre?
Belerutana.
Berarutana.
Belerutana.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, they
It's
even.
still here in Botswana. Yeah, it's still here in Botswana. But the Americans, because most of they have a lot of population of them in America, but especially around the Texas area, that's where they are mostly scattered, populated. That's where now they call it a Bigfoot. But then geographical terms, I must say, please, people, we don't associate Matsieng footprint with the Bigfoot here because we are two different locations. Even though we might say that there's Matsieng footprint and Belarus and Bigfoot, they are two different things. Please,
Okay.
yeah.
At least there is a clear
But
message there.
there's a clear
Matsieng
message
is a
because
different thing, and Bigfoot is a different thing.
Matsieng is two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Let me
what
just introduce myself.
okay.
My name is Kelvin Mwenga from Kenya, and my good friend here in Botswana is.
With the kinky hair like a bushman, okay?
Yeah.
Because the bushmen are believed to have kinky hair like me,
Is it?
and yeah.
Even mine is just because I just combed it. Anyway, it's not
Okay,
it's not a
okay, but
problem.
I'm actually the Matsieng guide here.
Mhm.
I'm 24 hours. Not me. From 8 to 5. I'm always down here. So anyone who wants to just visit the place, please feel free. We willing to help anyone, and we are always available for people. Whether you want to have just a tour guide of the place, or you want to have picnics or everything like that, we still allow you. But we are open 8 to 5. So please abide by the only and even already, please. Sakata areas understand when the sun sets, there are no place to go.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. We love you.
We
Guys, thank you so much for watching our video about Matsieng footprint. I want to thank you so much. Continue watching and sharing it and liking it. Furthermore, I'm going to prepare another video that is going to educate you on the African history. Thank you so much and continue staying tuned in this